really bad. I just realised I have the music on in the background while we stream. So there we go. That's something to do for the video, for the clips afterwards. It's like they're trying to hear all of us, and it was just like this whatever the song's playing. I have no idea because I can't see. But yeah, they had the music background. So hello, if you were blinded by the music in the background. Speaking of also, I mean, like we've had Legato and Travis Banks get released really. So we've got NXT UK go probably. It's probably lost like at least 3 of their 4, maybe 5 stars now. Not because of the whole speaking out thing, but we've had Drew Gulak's gone. Was it not Drew? Yeah, is it? No, God, what's the guy with the freaking umbrellas gimmick? British fella.
Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, I think Jack Gallagher. I think like freaking Gallagher brothers. I don't remember that one.
I tell you what, that story was scary. I remember reading that story, and you think to yourself, you know what he's like in terms of his ability to as a submission wrestler, and a guy who's got all those holds, and you know to reportedly take advantage as he has is a scary thing.
I mean, like it's a real. If they probably know something that we don't know. So if it came out later that he was doing absolutely awful things, then I would throw the book at him completely. But it's just like, again, we don't know what they know, so we can't mob mentality and go, let's kill him sort of thing. So we have to take it with a grain of salt, but probably WWE have done something good for once, I can say, really.
Yeah,
I've done something decent and just gone, right, you're fired.
It's a hard one, really, because is it a knee-jerk thing? I mean, let's have a look at this.
Matt Riddle had the same thing. He had like an accusation thrown at him, but then it was turned out that they knew about it when they signed him, and they've looked into it and gone, actually, she's just possibly just a crazy chick. We don't know, but someone who.
The difficulty is, though, that happened with Lars Sullivan, and then suddenly, with his homophobic comment,
it's like
and then they knew about it when they signed him, and then basically. It got rose again within sort of the social media, and then they were forced to get rid. So it's difficult to know how they're going to deal, because what we're seeing this week is again, Meltzer reports that effectively WWE are going to do some housekeeping, and that they're looking to get rid of problematic wrestlers. So in my mind, that can only mean the dream's on his way.
I saw about that, and I went, well, he had, and also to be fair, he had like a car accident beforehand, so that's why probably haven't seen him on TV for a while.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So I was like, okay, that's like obviously why he can't be on TV now. But if there is if he is going to get the chop, then it's. We kind of saw it coming, really.
Yeah, true.
So I'm gonna have to move over to a lighter topic of sorts. I say lighter, but since we were on the topic of NXT UK, that might go under, kind of, or just get removed, and some of the people might go over to the normal NXT, which I can understand it. Obviously, it wasn't making any money if you think about it, so.
It almost felt like it was, they saw the scene growing in the UK and how hot it was. They wanted a piece of it, but at the same time they wanted to use it as a means to control the talent out there, and make sure it didn't go anywhere where they could make money, or they could compete with them.
Well, no, they did it because of World of Sport, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, someone was saying, no, they did it because they wanted to compete with World of Sport. I was like, oh, then, you're asking for trouble, really. I mean, yeah. And the only thing worries me about, if it, like, touch wood, I hope it doesn't, so everyone's got their jobs or anything. But if it does to go under, I mean, like, we've got, oh God, who am I thinking now? God, I had a name on the tip of my tongue then. I forgot what it was. She was in NXT, but now she's in NXT UK, and I can't think of her freaking name. She's like a Riot Girl sort of thing. Where's war paint or something.
Oh, Tony Storm.
That's the one. Yeah. Tony
Okay.
Storm. She can jump straight to NXT. It's not too problem. There's a lot of people there. Like most of the people in Imperium
Yeah.
can just jump over to NXT. I mean, you've got
I
Walter
think
as well, who's
the
just
issue.
refused
Yeah.
not to do shows in America for reasons I don't know. But that's going to be an issue because it's like, are they gonna fire him then, or just because he can't do American shows?
But the thing is, they could do something more dangerous than that.
What's that?
They could keep him off work, saying that he's refusing. He won't get his appearance fees, but he won't be able to work anywhere else.
Oh yeah,
See,
shit.
this becomes very difficult with the contractual side of things. You
Yeah.
don't know what sort of contracts these guys are on.
Mm,
I know there was a big ramp up, maybe 8 months ago, on the existing talent to get them to sign on to new contracts with harsher working conditions in terms of non-compete clauses and such. Whereas the initial contracts did allow for certain for certain freedoms with working independently within the UK.
basically, just work for progress, and that's it.
Yeah, well,
Just
yeah,
work
well,
progress,
yeah,
and that's it. That's all
and
you can do.
yeah, and
Oh no,
that's it.
or ICW. Sorry, I forgot an
Me-
ICW.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say who, but I remember I had a conversation with someone, and they were saying to me that some of the deals that were put in place in there's some place with some of the promotions in the UK, some of the smaller promotions,
Mm,
were deliberate to ensure that one, the WWE were effectively going in there and signing all these smaller promotions onto sort of feeder contracts,
right.
um, and they made it sort of lucrative at the time, but also long term they basically lost the promotion. There's going to be a lot of damage on this, a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah. I think
Um,
WWE aren't really going to care though. I mean, like they've got NXT UK. They've got the obviously two so many brands afterwards. So I think just losing one, if it's losing them money, then they're not going to really. Vince would probably not even bat an eyelid at if it shut tomorrow. Be like, oh, okay, I've just lost this. No worries, I'm not making any money in it. So
it scares me really
yeah,
because you don't want the
okay, there you go.
yeah, you don't want the damage to the British scene.
No,
I mean, it's taken a long time, going back to like the FWA days and
mm,
the 1PW days, where there was stuff out there and it was working really, really well, and people were making money and were in an ascendancy, to go backwards. It it
yeah,
it's because there are so many really, really, really good organisations out there that are doing good things, that are helping with charities and giving people the opportunity to go out there and learn the trade and go out there and perform. And it's one of those things where if you think, when I was an 18-year-old kid, if I wanted to go out and learn to wrestle where I was, there was nowhere. The nearest place you would have to go to was down south. I'd have to go 200 miles
yeah.
somewhere to learn to wrestle, and now you can pretty much say in every major city, even the smaller cities.
Yeah,
Um,
even
you,
we've got one up this our end. It's not massive, but it's we. Obviously, I'm in North Wales now, but I'm
yeah,
just like, there's one in here which my friend did some training towards. I was like, whoa, there's an actual like wrestling show school in here. I was like, oh Christ!
yeah,
I mean, I knew there's one like there's that LDN, which is or
yeah.
LNW, which is some small thing, but I don't think anything great's going to come of it if I'm being honest. But they do touring shows around the UK.
I
And
mean,
they
we
do
have,
venue Cumbria every year. They do like what the big sort of venue we have around here,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, but
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
we have Fight Factory Wrestling in Lincoln, and they are amazing as a company.
mm,
The stuff they do and the work they do is just outstanding. And they have a ring hire business that's sustainable. They've got an
okay.
academy, which, to be honest with you, that everybody helps each other, and it's really, really nice. And they do a big show every year called Body Slams to Cancer, which is basically all based around raising money for cancer. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we've had some big guys. I mean, we had the likes of Kip Sabian,
nice.
do regular shows, and obviously me. I think I sort of entered at the wrong age.
Yeah.
But we did a few sessions and help with the ring hire, help with the ring and stuff. And you know, he himself was amazing. But Dutch Loeb and Becca Loeb, who actually run the company, are just the nicest and most amazing people you'll ever meet. And
Oh,
but the thing is, and that's what makes you sad for what's going on,
yeah,
because
because
these sorts of wrestling schools work with other promotions and work and bring people in, and obviously, you do your safeguarding, you do everything else, but how are you not going to be tainted by it because of your association with the business, and particularly the UK business?
yeah, okay, I see. Okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah, I thought you meant like the other news topic, but I was like, no, no, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I don't think maybe outside our bubble it's not affecting as people as much. Like non wrestling fans will probably go, oh yeah, of course, and not think about it. And then the ones who are actually in the wrestling sort of business or the know how or just general fans are going, crap, this is important and this is
Mm.
dangerous. I don't think yet it has hit like the big sort of the big mainstream news articles like BBC or the Skies or whatever's. I don't think it's hit that
And then
yet.
that's the worry, because at the moment, don't get me wrong, quite like rightly so, we've got coronavirus everywhere,
Yeah, yeah.
and we've got the Black Lives Matter movement, and
Yeah.
you've got lots of other things going on. I mean,
Mm,
which are important, and that's really good.
yeah.
But the problem that you've got is there will come a time when this when the UK scene in particular has to tell its story, and
Yeah.
in the mainstream, what way you were probably pulled in casual fans at the moment. Um, it's the old adage. It's really hard to get fans and keep them going, but it's
Yeah.
really easy to lose them.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, it's like I said before, as we haven't this story hasn't hit the mainstream just yet because we've got all these other amazing and negative stuff that's going on.
Mm.
But once those have died down, then they're gonna have to find something else, and that might be the tipping point. It might hopefully it still keeps going,
Yeah.
but it's. I worry about the day when I see a BBC, see one of my friends talking about who aren't wrestling fans going, oh
Mm.
my god, this happened. I was like, yeah, this is the point where it's gonna go, or they're gonna have say, I don't know, Roman Reigns or something, or Brock Lesnar even got an accusation against him, which
Yeah,
is
I
kind
know
of
that
fun.
was.
But I was like, how the hell did that not hit the BBC, the mainstream? Because he's a big name wherever you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So I was
yeah, for
like,
sure.
huh.
I think what's saving it from hitting the main news at the moment is the accusations are they're substantive, but they're not been substantiated in publicized legal cases yet.
Yeah, yeah,
When the first big name actually hits
yeah.
like um, some sort of court action. I mean,
We'll
there
say
is stuff that's going on,
we'll
but
take
yeah,
Gallagher because he's actually got investigated by the police if I remember rightly, but that hasn't hit the mainstream because everyone's like who.
yeah,
So it's like if they get someone absolutely, I don't know. We'll say Brock Lesnar is a bit of an example. If it
yeah.
turns out later that he actually caused it, then everyone's gonna go, oh crap, this is this is important. We should look at this, and that's yeah. Uh,
It's a difficult situation.
it's a difficult situation all round. I'm gonna be more depressed now after I finish this damn thing. We're all like, oh my god, why? Yeah, we're just gonna move over to some other news because we're talking about it as well. And bad news, really. The COVID numbers in the performance center is. I want to find out who's next. Really, just like we've heard, what 3 have come out. Hang on, four so far, including Jamie Noble. So that's 4 at the moment who said yeah. I think not Meltzer. Oh God, who's the other fellows on Wrestling Observer? Yeah, I was Wrestling Observer said there's like at least 24, so 2 dozen.
The figures
Conf-
I've got here on the figures I've got here from EWN.
Yeah.
Are saying 30 plus.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, there's probably going to be at least like with Renee's Young situation, because she was, I don't know, I want to say, there's so many people on that list, because especially the episode that they recorded was like they were doing a lumberjack sort of celebration thing with AJ Styles, and it's just like, oh crap! I was like, that's half your roster. Boom, could be tabbing it, and it's like, oh no. Especially like Daniel Bryan and Matt Riddle are probably going to have it now, and then all this other stuff. I was like, oh god,
it's scary. But yeah, you're talking 30 plus WBD staff and superstars.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I would probably guess that number's probably getting a lot higher. You'd have to think like that was probably got tested. And they're not doing great tests. Let's be real. They were doing crap tests. They were doing just putting your head against a thermometer and going, right, you're good, go. And I was like, that's not testing. Don't do testing like that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, the COVID test itself is horrible.
I haven't had it yet, so I'm lucky. But I think I'm so touching wood. So
I haven't had it, but I work in the NHS and I've witnessed a few.
Oh, you've seen a few tests, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh man, yeah, it's like they basically put the apparatus to the back of your throat until you hit gag, and if you haven't hit gag, then
basically like an Instagram model.
Oh man, yeah. And then it's worse.
That's
worse up your nose is worse.
Yeah, I think I've seen that in some South Korea photos, and just like you put it back in your mouth, it's like, okay, that's too bad, and then up your nose, like, oh god. Imagine like doing that, like just getting up your nose and you just sneeze as a reactionary.
That's exactly it, isn't it?
Like they finally though with other promotions, I'm guessing New Japan's probably doing the same thing. AEW and UFC are all like, yeah, we're doing proper testing and not this. How do you feel testing? I was like, oh god.
I think AEW on a whole, initially they were really, really hot on it, but apparently, sort of this last week, the reports are showing that they've scaled it down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
The problem is people are getting too relaxed. I mean, if you see in the news today, they're in the UK in Leicester, they're talking about implementing a local lockdown there because of the spike in cases.
Well,
so over there it's 10 times worse because the population density is worse.
Well, I was like, if you saying where both of them are, where AEW and the Performance Center are, they're in Florida, aren't they? So it's like that's got what was it, 40,000 cases in one day? I was like, good lord. Yeah, so they're probably going to be like, throw every member of staff into a hotel and buy the hotel outright for the whole. Oh god. So it's like, yeah, I do worry about the wrestlers in that area, because it's like Kenny Omega is going to come down to the Liverpool in October, I believe, for the Love of Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's loads of other celebrities. I mean, like Kurt Angle's going to be there, Goldberg, and all this other stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, the event is technically still on for October, but I don't think for 1 second they have like the likes of obviously Kenny Omega and Shawn Michaels flying over.
I don't think they'll have the air bridges.
No, I don't. They'll probably just postpone it until next year. If I'm being honest.
I suspect so, because you look at the air bridges in the UK, they're only the talk of them in the next week or so. But even then, it's like when you start to see spikes as they are now, I can't see it.
No, I can't see. Like, I was really hoping to meet Kenny Omega, maybe Shawn Michaels too, because those two are like amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, like, that's not going to actually happen, is it? If I'm being honest, I mean, I'd love them if they did, but I don't think it will. They won't come over, not because they want to, but because of all the stuff that's going to happen. So,
and the thing is, as long as everybody stays safe, that's the most.
Absolutely, yes. Obviously, everyone stays safe, and if we get our numbers down, then maybe we can have the event and the event can happen in October. But
we just need a vaccine.
Come on, Big Pharma, get your ass into.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're saying that there might be one available by I think the Oxford one that's pushed by AstraZeneca,
Yeah.
backed by AstraZeneca. They reckon the UK government's ordered 80 million individual doses, and they reckon if it might possibly get greenlit for manufacture in August.
Well, as long as like if they, I'm gonna hold off just for a bit until they start getting like decent. You know, I don't want to
Yeah.
inject myself with something and then realize it was like absolutely it was gonna kill me rather than it was gonna hurt me more than it actually cures me. So I was like, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah.
So until
What PPE?
yeah, oh
Yeah,
gosh,
we got our government's got a good reputation for that sort of thing, hasn't it?
yeah. Oh god. Moving over swiftly because I think we don't have. I'm probably losing people's interest if we talk about COVID-19 anymore. And probably Twitch will probably just ban us and going like, you're talking about something bad, quick. Teresa, I can't get my words out now. Excuse me. Teresa Blanchard.
Theresa May.
I don't know.
Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard. There we go. Get my words out today. She's been sacked, I guess, when you want to call it, fired or from Impact. And this wasn't because of all the absolutely torrent of abuse that she was doing to people in October, I think it was, wasn't it? Or something.
No, basically a lot of this was it's being reported that Melsner, I think, reported that basically she was refusing to
do promos,
send content, and then when they wanted her to come and do Slammiversary, bearing in mind her deal was up at Slammiversary, she was refusing to for fear of not reportedly through fear of not being able to get back to Mexico for a wedding. Now, but that again is hearsay. That's what's coming out of her camp.
Yeah.
What's coming out of the other camp is she was blackmailing the company and trying to hold them hostage over the belt.
Ugh.
Trying to negotiate.
Basically, no. To be fair though, she was copying Jeff Jarrett's idea. She really was. No, but in seriousness, like, yeah, I understand. Like, if she's coming in and flying back to do just one event thing and dropping the belt to whoever, then they had no choice really. They could just go like, look, the ball's in our court. We're gonna fire you because like you were being difficult to work with, shall we say?
The danger is though at the moment when you look at Impact on a whole is she's been a big success story out of Impact, and she's been what's been driving Impact's ratings and the show because she's done a phenomenal job in taking that lead and pushing women to the forefront. And her matches have been of a high quality with the ones with Sami Callihan and even the match that she had with Brian Cage. It was really well done. But again,
sorry, I seem yawn. A bit long day. No, but it's saying like she's been having great matches and they have built her up the right way, and now that they've lost her, they're gonna have to start pushing either another female to either fill that void, or they're gonna have to push another Impact star as well.
I mean, the match slated was Elgin versus Blanchard versus Eddie Edwards versus
Ace Austin. And Eddie, and wasn't there Elgin's gone, isn't he? I think as well because of the whole.
Oh, he's been suspended, I think, while they investigate again.
Oh, I think he was taken off the match card anyway. It's just,
taken off the match card.
It was just it's going to be a triple threat now, obviously, for the vacant title, because they've fired Blanchard and they've made the title vacant. So basically, we'll have a new title at Slammiversary. Which
I think the difficulty is now is though you've got Elgin gone, and now with historic abuse cases against him. That damages him because he was going to be the one, I think, that was going to take the title.
I don't think so. I think
you think it was going to be Austin?
You know what? I probably would have put it on Austin personally. I would say I would like to see Austin win it because, I mean, Touchwood, he hasn't had any backlash yet, and he's still relatively young, isn't he? So
it's just whether he had the presence to hold it at this point.
Yeah.
I think it would have backward stepped to give it to Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
I thought with the way they were building Elgin through, I mean, they made him into a monster, but at the same
Yeah.
time, they didn't give him. It's like they didn't damage him with Moose over the TNA title, so to speak. That little angle there. But at the same time, it just felt like he was in the position to go out and do it.
Okay.
And you knew that with him holding the belt, when you looked at his presence, his offensive moveset, you could recognize him as a world champion.
Yeah, I could say, but then like obviously Elric is gone now, so who else can they really give it to that wouldn't be too far off? Because he's all right, but he's not a level of that's cool. And then they could just do something like with Ace, give it to him, but not give him do a sort of Seth Rollins thing where he wins by not cheating, but like scheming out of it in some way.
Yeah, I mean the thing is he's got that whole sort of rod thing that he uses. He's a top quality heel. There's no way two ways about it. But I don't know. I think it's very difficult. I would almost feel like it's not even worth having the title decided at the pay-per-view. It almost feels like you've got to rebuild its credibility, and I don't know how I would even look at doing it. And I don't think putting it on. Yeah, I don't think putting it on it one of those two is gonna do anything for it.
And they got space in there. Do you think they could throw Callahan's not doing anything, is he really?
Yeah.
So they could just throw him into a replacement or.
But then also you've got the other thing. I mean, did you see that Anderson and Gallows are in negotiations?
Oh, with Impact.
Yes.
I saw briefly. I didn't actually see the full actual news report thing, but I did see briefly this morning. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I would. I don't know. Because it's kind of weird. Because I did say that. I jokingly said when all these releases happened a few months ago. I said that EC3 would go back to Impact.
There you go, EC3.
I mean, let me just put this out, and then I know, okay, I've done this, and it's on the record. I said that EC3 would go back to Impact. I said that Drake Maverick would go back to Impact because obviously they had great chemistry there. Gallows Anderson would go to New Japan. Eric Young would probably go back to Impact, and who am I missing now? Leo Rush should probably, I don't know, maybe go to AEW or something, or just something different, or back on the indie scene.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god. Oh, and Rusev would probably go to AEW. I said that as a joke off the cuff, and I think hang on, if that comes out true, I'll be kicking myself to high heavens.
Yeah,
but I didn't expect Gallows and Anderson to go to Impact. Was like, whoa, okay, that was a surprise.
I think the what I'm reading is the big part of the deal is they're still going to be given part of the contract to say they can still go and wrestle in New Japan.
Yeah.
I think that's what's attracting them there, being and have that freedom to be able to go on the tour. Because if you remember back in the old days, in the TNA and your Ring of Honors and your sort of secondary companies, that you would have a period of the year where certain stars will go touring with New Japan with with 01 in those days, and you would have maybe a 6 to 8 week period, and the smart promotions would follow their action out there and promote it, to show that these guys are actually working abroad and still successful.
I don't think TNA would want to work with New Japan would want to work with TNA after all that kerfuffle, after the way they were treated. I don't think they want to work with either TNA or Impact. I don't know, we'll see. But I don't think they want to work after. I think maybe AEW might treat them well. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to stay with that one.
The thing is AEW at the moment are pretty stacked in terms of tag teams.
Yeah.
And to bring another tag team into the equation would probably devalue FTR at the moment.
Yeah. I see that. I think what they should really do now is, with that tag division now, is break up Kenny and Hangman.
It's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to happen either it wouldn't happen on free TV. It's where it's probably going to happen at All Out, if I'm being honest. If that was to happen. But I think that will probably happen. Everything else they can drop the titles at Fyter Fest to whoever. I don't know who their face is. It Best Friends? Is it?
Yeah.
So they could drop it. I think they should drop Best Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll be happy with that.
But again, I don't like Best Friends as a tag team. I do. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love them as a tag team in one respect, but the gimmick isn't. The gimmick is just. It's even their matches. They're so samey. It's like I used to love watching the Bucks.
Yeah.
When I go to shows, Bucks are amazing as a live. If you're in a live audience, but everything's so samey. There's no. It's like I always put this out there. When you look at Kenny Omega, amazing athlete, fantastic. His matches in Japan were amazing with Okada, even with Jericho. And when you sit there and watch them, they built and they told the story really well, and you could watch an hour and not feel like tired.
No, because I think that's I watched the first one, first Omega match, and I'm not a big like New Japan person. I wasn't then, and I watched it and went, "That's actually." I got involved, and I didn't know any of the wrestlers. I didn't know who Okada was. I didn't know who Kenny Omega was, and I just went, "Okay, my friends are banging on about this. I might as well watch it." Watched it, loved it, and that's the thing that got me back into, or it got me into watching more New Japan than I actually was. So props to them.
Yeah, completely. But then when you see the transition to the US style, it feels too sequenced. But then, like, if you then watch a Cody match, what Cody does really well is he has his move sequences, but he tells the story really well.
Yeah.
You become invested in each part of the match, the pace, and the storytelling, and it's the difference between the two, and I think that's what's lost in Omega and AEW, which is why I don't feel that like you will ever place Omega at the top of the card.
Oh no,
because
no.
Right now where he's sat and what he's doing isn't sort of isn't conducive to the style that's around him.
No, I don't. Because he knows. I think he knows the idea that you've got to bring up the younger ones first before you. Because you don't want to be like freaking Hulk Hogan when he's 50 or 60 and he's still like, I want a world championship shot, and it's like, no, you can't. So I think he's knowing that his days are particularly numbered, and he's just going to elevate other, not the smaller guys, but the ones that are still younger.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
they could do that. They could just drop it on Best Friends, even if it's just like for until either the Bucks or FTR take it off them.
Yeah,
and then be like, oh, okay, then yeah.
What do you think of Brian Cage and the Taz thing?
I like it. I actually like it. I think it's really good because it's like, obviously we know that Brian Cage it's a monster in a sort of wrestling sense. He's a monster in a sort of
Physical
idea.
Sense.
yeah, he's a monster in a wrestling sense. But I think pairing him with Taz is, I don't know what his promo skills were like in TNA, if they were any good, so I don't know about that. But if pairing him with Taz, who is a great talker, not great, but he's an alright talker, it's best thing for it, really. He can just do all the wrestling, which he's good at, and just doing power move after big power move, and then let Taz do the talking.
and the cool thing about it is as well is if you watched AEW this week, the way that Taz does that bit of analysis, that's what Taz is good at. And then when you actually see what Cage is capable of, because in that match at the pay-per-view when he came in and got that title shot, some of the sort of crazy athletic stuff, he's not just a big guy. I mean, you see, I see a clip on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Twitter, he put out after having a bit of an argument with what was the name? Sorry.
No, keep talking. Go for it.
Yeah, God, what was the name in WWE? I can't remember, but basically, she was accusing him of stealing his moonsault, like second-rate flip moonsault, and he showed us stuff of him doing it like years ago. But then he also showed some work with Flip Gordon in the gym, and he does like a spring head scissors. It's the most craziest thing I've ever seen. But it's like watching Scott Steiner in like 1992, but with the same sort of capacity of muscles he had in like
Okay.
2000.
I was just thinking since Scott Steiner, my first thought was a freaking 33% steal every time. I was like, oh my god. Oh.
But the irony is he's using one of Scott Steiner's finishes as his finisher.
You think he asked for permission to do that?
I would hope so.
Well,
I won't want to mess with Steiner.
No. I mean, did you see the clip Randy Orton put? I think it was like some before the bell put out about Austin Theory.
No.
Basically, they have Before the Bell, which is that that Corey Graves podcast thing. And they had Randy Orton on. He said this was all in quarantine and lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
He was at the PC, and Austin Theory came up to him, and he was about to shake his hand, and he was like, "What are you doing?" So he gave him a little, elbow nudge and all that. And he straight asked him. Austin Theory said, "Look, I've got a move that looks like a RKO. Can I use it?" So it's like, oh shit, without even thinking about it, went, yeah, sure. But basically it's this sort of finish where he puts him on the shoulders, throws him up, and he pulls him into a stunner, or a sort of RKO thing. And that Randy Orton just went, that's like, he had the foresight and the respect to go, look, I've got a move that is close to yours, can I use it? I was like, dude, it's like, I probably personally don't want to meet Randy Orton. He's not famous, but you can at least go, okay, at least he's giving the credit to a smaller guy who's going, can I use this move? So props to him, though. It's like
then again, at the same time, do you think that might be off the back of the heat he was getting over the NXT Ciampa thing?
I don't think so. I think he went there like way before that and went, because Austin Theory is probably on the main roster, wasn't he, before this whole Ciampa thing kicked off. So I think this was way before Ciampa, I think, if I remember rightly. But
fair enough.
So if it was just like, cool, I think he has the weight. I think if Scott Steiner wouldn't let something like, if it was like kind of thing, it'd be like, don't think Scott Steiner would let Nick Cage do one of his moves. So.
I mean, speaking about that, what was your opinion of Orton's little dig at NXT with his finish, on Edge,
with the leg slap thing? Oh god! I just found it hilarious. I just thought it was just I just found it hilarious that what the whole leg slap thing was it or I just found it hilarious. It was Randy just being Randy. It was just Randy just trolling and making us all look like idiots, really.
Really?
Yeah, there was rumours flying around that they're doing a match now at SummerSlam, but
because the problem I've got, right, if Randy Orton did half as good as matches as Ciampa or a lot of the NXT roster. If he could emulate, if he could put together a Ciampa Gargano match, or an Adam Cole match.
I know that those matches are amazing and Randy Orton's aren't so great, but the way I look at it is that he's probably going like, he's just respecting them, but it's not in a direct way. It's sort of a sly sort of, okay, a little jab sort of thing. I think he probably has a lot of respect for them, just doesn't want to put it publicly. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing though, we talk about it, we have our opinions and such. It'd be really, really cool to actually ask the question direct and get a direct answer.
I mean, like, I probably think somebody's got to have done it at least like somewhere. It's been like, because I think it was who was it? I was meeting someone. I think it was Ric Flair, and I asked the question just straight out, and he went, "Yeah, sure." It was like that. I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I think if you ask them directly, I think you'll probably get the real answer, not the kayfabe answer, so to speak. Right, I'm going to have to wind it up there because I think we've got somebody calling for me to eat something. So I'm going to have to round this up. It's been I've been Dale, and my co-host has been
Goku RK.
Goku RK. My name is Dale, also known as Kamina on the show. I'll see you guys on... Oh god, I'm trying to think when next stream is. Tuesday on the Anime League streams, I'll be doing Jackbox games or whatever games I feel like because it's my hour. And yeah, they'll be going over and then just talking. And then I'm back on this stream normally on a Friday, so you guys can catch me up there. And if we want to do this again, we'll try and figure out when the next show might be. Until then, I will see you guys next time.